Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sorry for the delay, but I am pleased to be able to say I was leaving court where the case against the 40-year case against the district, Evans v. now known as Evans v. Bowser, has been resolved, and the district is taking over, as it should, the privilege of taking care and ensuring services are provided to people in the District of Columbia with disabilities. So this is a huge point in the district's history and our care for individuals with disabilities. I wanted to be here today. We will take a few questions, and I'm joined by members of my public safety team. And I wanted to provide a short reaction to claims made against the district's fire and EMS system in regards to the tragic L'Enfant Plaza accident, which took one life and injured others. First and foremost, we remain the people who lost loved ones or who were injured here remain in our thoughts and prayers. I want to emphasize that we are involved in a legal process, and that process will play itself out. So anything related to the litigation we will be unable to discuss at this time, but I remain very confident, and everyone should know that the district will defend itself and defend itself vigorously. I wanted to be here with our firefighters and EMS providers to emphasize this point. They are the most extraordinary people that I've met, certainly putting their own lives in danger each and every day to keep the people of the District of Columbia safe. They respond to fires, police incidents, and medical emergencies. And these valuable men and women are certainly here in the district and committed to making our lives better, our community safer, and the District of Columbia better as a whole. My job as mayor is to make sure that they have exactly what they need: the staffing, the equipment, the financial resources, and the training to keep the district safe. And we are doing exactly that. Part of my promise to the people of the District of Columbia was to hire a fire chief who had the experience and background in EMS to bring our department and to make our department the best anywhere in the country. And Chief Dean, in his time as fire chief, has done exactly that. So I wanted to make that brief statement, and we will be available to answer your questions. Yes. NTSB's final report, I have it right here, cites DC Fire and EMS for issues, some might call them oversights or mistakes, that happened on the day of the L'Enfant Plaza fiasco. So doesn't the fire department have something to do with what happened that day? Well, I think the NTSB has had a lot to say over the course of the year, and I'm not going to go into detail about any of their findings, but certainly we will make any and all necessary defenses in court. Yes, any other questions? Yes.
Mayor Bowser, what is your relationship with Metro like right now? I mean, there have been a couple of high-profile incidents where you guys seem to be at odds, and now we're here at this point today where you feel like you have to defend yourself against your transit agency. How would you characterize your relationship with them right now?
Metro is very critical to the growth of our region, not just for Washington, D.C., but for the entire region. And our job is to make sure that we have a transit system that works, and that's what we're focused on. Yes.
Respectfully, you didn't answer the question. What is your relationship with them like right now? Do you feel that there's some strain going on?
I feel like my job is to make sure the transit system has what it needs to get its job done, and that will be our continued focus. Yes.
Metro argues in the paperwork that it has no legal responsibility to riders in the event of a smoke or fire emergency. Now, for riders, and if it's Metro is so critical to the region, what is your response to that as a former Metro board member and a mayor?
What is your question?
That Metro argues that they have no legal, they expressly deny any legal.
I can't talk about.
But you can react.
Let me finish, and I am reacting. I cannot respond to their legal claims. There will be an opportunity for us to respond to their legal claims, and we'll do it in the legal process.
What would you tell? But I mean, you can.
What I will tell riders is that their fire department is ready to respond. Yes.
What would you say
to the firefighters who are looking to their mayor to back them up on this today?
Well, I have said from the moment this accident happened is that we wanted to learn any and everything that we could from that incident. It was my belief then, and it is now, that our firefighters ran into harm's way to make sure that they could serve and save people. But for their actions, we don't even know what the severity of that incident could have been. So these men and women, following instincts and training, responded to a very significant incident in the District of Columbia. And God forbid we have an incident like that again, they'll do exactly the same thing. And I want to thank them and assure residents that their fire and emergency system is ready and able to respond. Thank you. I just explained to Matt, and I'll say it again, that I want it to be perfectly clear that the D.C. fire and emergency system is ready and able to respond.
Chief, would you mind answering the
That's
question?
it. That's all we have to
How about
say.
for the chief? Are you regularly training with Metro? One of the findings the NTSB had was that the fire department wasn't getting into the Metro training, underground training tunnel enough. Is that happening regularly?
Yes. Thank you.